Hey everybody, welcome back to another practice session. If you're new here, my name is Carla. I've been playing tennis for 10 years. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some insights that I gained from practicing with Milan, a former D2 player. Now, instead of comparing our games, I thought I would just give you the main points, the main takeaways that I learned that I'll be applying moving forward. Before I get started, I do want to go into a little bit what Division II tennis means. So the NCAA is the association that handles college sports, and there are different levels to it. This is true for most sports outside of tennis too. There is D3 being the lower level of NCAA sports, then there's D2, and then there's D1. D1 is the top, and D2 is the middle in between those two. D3, you can't receive any scholarships, like financial scholarships, as far as I know, to play for those schools. At the D2 level, you certainly can, and at the D1 level, you of course can. And actually, I've heard that there have been a couple of pro players that decide to start playing college before they get on tour just to get a bit more match experience. So D2 is certainly a high level of tennis. So a big thanks to Milan for this practice session today. So the first lesson I learned is about consistency. I realized that if I don't try and hit every shot at 100% power, I'm able to be a bit more consistent. So that is something that I've been working on and gradually building it so that I can hit more powerful shots more consistently. Filming myself has also been able to highlight patterns in my shots and has really helped me realize some things about how I can improve so I can be more consistent overall. And I realized that that also involves getting a rhythm, especially when you're warming up, and if you lose it, trying to get it back later in the practice session. The second big lesson I learned is about depth. You really want your shots to be landing a bit deeper in the court, in between the service line and the baseline. If they're landing too short, they're going to get destroyed. And you'll see that in different times in this practice session. In seeing Milan's intensity and footwork during this practice session and in a couple others, I've been trying to level mine up as well because I've learned that it's super important to maintain your intensity. And this is going to build endurance and it's going to allow you to play tennis for longer, which is something that I am a huge fan of. So I'm really trying to work on my fitness, on my endurance, my intensity, and my footwork. So those are 4 big things. What I've noticed from hitting with Milan is that, what really separates a college player from a recreational player is the consistency and not only in the power, but also in the depth and lastly in the placement of his shots. Besides that, I would say intensity is another one. Nonetheless, this was super fun. Alright, so we're about midway in and I switched over to the blade. This is usually my racket of choice and I string it with these strings from Tennis Only. They're supposed to be similar to Luxilon Alu Power, but at much lower cost. They are usually used in demos, so I don't know if that's really a bad thing. I mean, it just shows that they're pretty durable and they hold tension well. which I don't know why people wouldn't elect to use those instead of strings that are pretty useless after a week or so. So I like these very much. While we're on the subject of strings, I do want to test out some different string combinations. So if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will start, testing them out one by one, let you know what I think. So back to, observing my practice session, what I'm noticing is that with this racket, I'm able to hit the corners a lot better. I think that also since I'm a bit more warmed up here, you can see that the, footage, the shots, like my game is a lot better than it was in the first, couple minutes of this video. I think it's kind of funny to go back and see that because it's really like noticeable, at least for me after I watch it over and over again, that when I'm first starting out, there's definitely a curve when you're like warming up. Even if you feel warm already, you have to kind of like calibrate your shot. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're kind of getting used to being on court and hitting where you are aiming for. So that's definitely something that I see. At this point, Milan wanted me to, stand on this corner and kind of give him some shots to make him run around the court a little bit more. I don't know if he's focusing on a particular shot, maybe backhand cross court or forehand on the line, or maybe just his movement in general, which is like super important in tennis. Either way, I noticed also immediately that a lot of my shots are going a lot shorter. I'm still trying to hit with more depth, but I can immediately see that, instead of hitting a little bit long, I'm hitting a little bit short, which is a bit frustrating. But that's exactly why I'm testing out different setups. And moving forward, that's going to be one of the focuses of my practice sessions. I'll ask, one of my friends to see if they wouldn't mind testing out some drills for that and try and focus on improving depth. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this idea of filming yourself. Honestly, I think it's been a game changer. And if you guys do decide to start filming yourself, I'd love to see your guys' work. So feel free to leave a comment below and I'll check it out. All right, well, as we're nearing the end of this video, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a like and leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear back from you guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.